Do you want to create your business in France or even freelance from France? The Entrepreneur Profession Libérale visa is my favorite visa when it comes to running a business in France or even from France. But it also has its downsides, so watch carefully until the end to put all the chances on your side. Bonjour, I'm Giga from the blog Expat in France. I am a French serial expat and you will find here information about French admin and French culture to adjust to your French life. The great thing about the Entrepreneur Profession Libérale visa is that you won't need to find an employer to sponsor your self-employment visa, and you will even have access to a multi-year permit from 2 to 4 years. Also, you should know that there is no France digital nomad visa as such. But if you're planning to stay more than 3 months in France and you want to have the option to extend further, this is your safest and most compliant option. And if you follow the process correctly, this visa will become your pathway to getting a French passport. It is a great chance to make your dream of living in France come true. Don't get me wrong, it takes a bit of effort, but it is so worth it. Now, let's see how to get the Entrepreneur Profession Libérale visa, often called the France freelance visa. First, you will need to check the French consulate website or France visa website to prepare your file with the latest updated official list. It is a good idea to come over-prepared in terms of paperwork. Depending on your situation, the French administration may ask for extra elements not mentioned on their list. If you want to have an indicative list of documents to request your Entrepreneur Profession Libérale visa, including the documents the consulate doesn't officially include on the France visa's website, but will often expect, you can request this list by clicking on the link under this video. Then what type of company can you open to get a Profession Libérale visa? There is no restrictions in terms of type of company status to establish in France with this visa. Many people think that it is a visa only for micro-entrepreneurs, but it is not. You can be self-employed, meaning Profession Libérale in French, or even have another type of company structure, be a sole proprietor under the micro-entrepreneur scheme, or even join an existing French company as a partner. I am not a business consultant nor a tax advisor, and it is always recommended to consult a chartered accountant to validate the company structure. In the long term, this will save you money, time, and bureaucracy complications, I can tell you. The two main elements that will be essential for your Entrepreneur Profession Libérale visa request and later the renewal of your permit will be first to prove that your business is economically viable. When you're requesting your visa, the company must justify enough revenue to pay the foreign entrepreneur the French minimum wage at least over the first year. And secondly, once arrived in France, you will have the obligation to register your company with the French social contributor. And if you learned something new in this video, please give it a like, as YouTube will show it to more people who might need this information too. Great news! The Entrepreneur Profession Libérale visa doesn't have any restrictions in terms of activity sector. So you can open your gîte in an old farmhouse, do online freelance work, or even be a baker in France under this visa. The immigration status doesn't have restrictions. However, the activity itself may be restricted in terms of qualification required. There are some regulated professions. The main ones are the ones relating to numbers, the law, and medical services. So you will need to check if your activity is subject to specific regulation and what are the requirements in terms of qualifications and diplomas. Now, let me give you some insider tips to prepare your Entrepreneur Profession Libérale request file. The French administration will request documentation to answer the following questions. Who are you? What will you be doing in France? Why are you moving there? Why are you qualified to run this business? What is your projection of how much you think you can charge? What is your estimated revenue for the next 3 years? A 2 to 3 page business plan will help you to be synthetic and to the point, but you can also choose to go for a longer version. Now, the main downside of this visa is that there is no visa given to your spouse as a dependent. Therefore, you will have 3 options for them to come with you to France. First, your spouse meets the requirements for his or her own visa, like an entrepreneur visa, visitor visa, EU Blue Card visa, student visa, employee visa, etc. Or even another entrepreneur profession libérale visa if he or she has her own business, for example. Also, your spouse and children can apply for the family reunion process. However, this is not a route that I would recommend, since the delays are very long and this process can only be initiated after you have resided legally for 18 months in France. Or finally, you meet the criteria to request a talent passport entrepreneur visa that will grant your spouse a visa to come to France. Now let's talk a bit about the interview at the French consulate. During this interview, they will ask you any questions they may have about the documentation provided. You will also be requested to pay the visa fee of 99 euros, these are 2022 figures, to be paid in the local currency. This will be confirmed to you in the appointment confirmation email. This appointment will be held in your home language or the language of the country where you are residing and requesting the visa from. If any documents are missing or extra documents are requested, you will be given an email address to send these documents to. Once your file is complete, the visa will be processed. And depending on the consulate, the visa can be sent back to you by postal mail within the next 10 business days to 1 month. You will also be provided with a form explaining how to validate your visa once you arrive in France. This is essential that you make this process, otherwise you will become illegal in France past the first 3 months. You will not be able to leave the Schengen zone and re-enter France without a valid visa. The information to validate your French visa on arrival is explained on the form that I've just mentioned before. After almost 1 year in France, you will need to submit your first renewal, or more exactly, you will need to request your residence permit 2 months before the expiry of your visa at the local prefecture. Do not wait until the end of the validity to request the renewal. You will find an indicative list of documents to submit your entrepreneur profession libérale permit request via the link under this video. You will just need to tell me which email I can send it to. Once you have provided a complete file to the prefecture, you will be given a récépissé. This receipt authorizes you to work until you receive the card permit. You will be granted a 2 to 4 years permit extension. The duration is up to the prefecture depending on how your business is doing. With this multi-year resident card, you will not need to do any immigration processes for the next few years. Congratulations! In short, the entrepreneur profession libérale visa is not an easy one to get, as you must prove the economic viability of your business, but on the other hand, you won't need to find an employer to sponsor your visa. Every entrepreneur takes risks to succeed. And the business plan and paperwork requested to get the visa are also an opportunity to plan better your business in France to succeed. This visa is the way to start over in France by creating your passion job. And to crown it all, it allows you to request a French passport if you want to, once you check all the requirements. A great opportunity to consider, right? I hope this video will help you to understand this great visa option. And remember, if you found this video useful, you can like the video and also download the indicative list of documents to request this visa to start taking action on your dream. Merci et à bientôt!